In this video, we'll be constructing the LR0 items for the given grammar and check if the given grammar is SLR or not. So I'll consider these productions as grammar G, and H derives parenthesized L would be the first production, A would be the second production, L derives L comma S would be the third production, and L derives S would be the fourth production. So before I proceed to finding out the LR0 items, I should know the value of first and follow of the non-terminals. Here the non-terminals are S and L. So writing the first and follow values. So first of S would be open bracket and A, and first of L would also be the same, open bracket and A. Coming to follow of S, I'll have a dollar and then a close bracket, and on this side I'll have a close bracket, comma, and a dollar. So if you don't know how to find the first and follow, do watch my previous videos. I've explained with the algorithm how to find first and follow stepwise. Now moving on to computing the argumented grammar G dash from the given grammar G. So here, before I proceed, I should remember certain things. That is, the first one is like S dash derives dot S. So here S should be the start symbol. So if it is of, I should start from this production form, and I should, my aim is to obtain it to this state where the dot is shifted to the left, to the rightmost side. So if there's any other production, A derives X, then if there's a dot in the starting, then I should shift this dot towards the end and get it in this form. Suppose after dot, if I have a non-terminal, if X is a non-terminal, then I should write all the possible productions of X with dot as prefix, and I should perform the same operation, that is shifting the dot to the end in all the following cases. So let me start with S dash derives dot S. Here S dash derives dot S. So after dot S, I have S is a non-terminal. So whenever I have a non-terminal, I should write down the possible productions of S with dot as prefix. So I'll start writing. So I'll have S derives dot parenthesized L and S derives dot A. Here open bracket is there, which is a terminal, you need not write. S derives small a, it is also a terminal, so you need not write it. So let me put this in a box. I'll name it as I naught items. Next, over S, this dot can be shifted, right? So I'll write S dash derives S dot. So the dot is shifted here. So this is I1, item I1, and over open bracket I can shift this dot, right? So it will be S derives open bracket dot L and close bracket. Here if you see, L is a non-terminal, so I should write all the possible productions of L with dot in the starting. So dot L comma S is the first production, and then L derives dot S is the second production. So looking at the second production, L derives dot L. So L is a non-terminal. I have written all the possible productions. Coming to this, S is a non-terminal. I should write all the possible productions of S. So S derives dot parenthesized L and S derives dot A. So I have written down all the items here. Let me put them in a box and name it as I2. Next I have A. So over A, I get S derives A dash. So I can name this as I3. So moving on to I1, the dot is shifted towards the rightmost, so it's done. Looking at this, the first production, open bracket dot L. So over L, I can shift the dot, right? So over L, I can write S derives open bracket L dot and close bracket. So along with this, I can also shift dot here because I have L here. So I'll write L derives L dot comma S. So after dot I have a close bracket here and a comma here, which are terminals. So I need not expand it further. So this would be I4. This is I3, right? So I'll write this as I4. Next, over S. So these two are done. Over S I can write L derives S dot. So I'll name this as I5. And open bracket, if I write, I get open bracket dot L and close bracket. So the I2 items are repeated again. So I'll write I2 here, and over A I would get item I3, that is S derives A dot. So moving on to next I4, I'll check. So here I have a close bracket. So over close bracket I can write S derives open bracket L close bracket and dot. So I can name this as, this was I5, right? So I'll name this as I6. Now over comma, I can write L derives L comma dot S. After dot I have S. S being a non-terminal, I should write all the possible productions. So S derives dot parenthesized L and S derives dot A. So I'll name this as I7. So I5 is done, I6 is done, I7. Over S, I can shift this dot. So I'll get L derives L comma S and dot. L comma S and dot. So I'll take this as I8, item 8. Over L, over open bracket, I would get open bracket dot L and close bracket, that is similar to I2. And over small a, I would get S derives A dot. S derives A dot is I3, right? So I get I3. So here I have obtained all the LR0 items. I've computed the augmented grammar G dash from the given grammar. My next step would be to construct the parsing table. So here I have constructed the table with action and goto. Action comprising of all the terminals and goto comprising of the non-terminals. So here I have written down all the items. So I0 over S, I would get I1. S being a non-terminal, I0 over S, I would get 1. And I0 over open bracket being a terminal here. So I0 over a terminal, I would get I2. So here the values are being shifted, right? So I can write shift of 2. I0 over open bracket, I'll write I0 over open bracket, I'll write shift of 2. And I0 over A, I get shift of I3, that is shift of 3. So I'm done with I0. Moving on to I1. So in I1, it is of the form S dash derives S dot, where S is the start symbol. So if it is of this form, then I should write, in the action part, I can write I of I comma dollar is equal to accept. So I1 and dollar, I should write accept here. Moving on to I2. I2 over L, I get I4. I2 over L, I get I4. I2 over S, I get I5. And I2 over open bracket, I get S2. And I2 over small a, I get S3. Now coming to I2 is done, I3 nothing, I4. So I4 over open bracket, I4 over open bracket, I4 over open bracket, I get I6. I4 over open bracket, I get, sorry, this is sorry, this is close bracket, right? I4 over close bracket I get I6, I4 over close bracket I get I6, that is shift of 6. I4 over comma I get S7, done. Next, coming to I'm done with I4, I5 no, I6 not possible, I7. So I7 over S, I7 over capital S, I would get 8. I7 over open bracket, I get S2. And I7 over small a, I get S3. I8 can't be written further. So I am done with shifting part. Now I need to remember that if there's any production of the form A derives alpha dot, then in the place of action, I can write I of I, comma, follow of A is equal to reduce of A derives alpha. So here I should write the production number from the grammar. So understanding this, here there's one more rule, that A should not be equal to S dash. So if you compare A derives alpha dot and S dash derives S dot, they both are same, but then A should not be the start symbol, so you should not consider I1. So coming to I2, there's no production of this form. So in I3 we have S derives A dot. So comparing this with A derives alpha dot, in the action I can write I3 comma follow of A, follow of S is dollar and open bracket is equal to reduce of A derives alpha, S derives A is the second production here, so I'll write R2 here. Coming to I4, no. In I5 I have L derives S dot. Comparing this with A derives alpha dot, I get I5 comma follow of L. Follow of L I have open bracket, comma and dollar. So here it would be R. L derives S is R4, right? Fourth production. Coming to I6, I5 I have written I6. So S derives parenthesized L dot at the end. So here I'll write I6 comma follow of S is dollar and open bracket. Here I would write S derives parenthesized L as R1. Next I have I7 is not there. I8 I can write as L derives L comma S dot. So this would be I8 comma follow of L is open bracket comma and dollar is equal to L derives L comma S is R3, the third production. So I have obtained all the reduced part of the items. So now let me start filling these values in the table. So I3 comma dollar, write R2 and open bracket also write R2, close bracket also write R2. Next I5 and close bracket write R4, I5 and comma write R4 and I5 and dollar write R4. So I am done with these. Now I6 and dollar write R1 and I6 and close bracket write R1. Done with these two. I8 and close bracket write R3. I8 and comma write R3. I8 and dollar also write R3. So here I have written all the shifting and reduce part. So if you check the parsing table, there are no multiple entries. There are no multiple entries or conflicts occurring in each cell of the table, of the parsing table. Thus, I can say that the given grammar is said to be SLR. So, I hope you have understood how to find the LR0 items and check if the given grammar is SLR or not. If you have any doubts, do let me know in the comments and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.